This episode is brought to you by Distill Union. Hi everyone, this is Edgar, the host of Snug Wrestling. They design everyday carry gear with one simple idea: less but better. From slim Wally wallets with magnetic closures to Ferris key organizers, they keep everything clean and quiet. Distill Union makes carrying your essentials effortless. Built from full grain leather and backed by a 3-year warranty, simplify your carry and save 20% off with promo code SNUG at DistillUnion.com. That's 20% off with promo code SNUG at DistillUnion.com.
Hey, this is your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, and you're listening to Snug Wrestling. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
What is crack-a-lackin', everybody? Welcome back to the Snug Wrestling Podcast. It's Friday, so that means we're going to be going over WWE Friday Night SmackDown tonight. I am Edgar. I am the host. The Snug crew is here, Mr. Blood and Tommy. And we saw a 3-hour show, but I got to be honest, I missed the first half hour because I was having some technical difficulties. And man, I was finally able to figure it out. And by that time, I missed the first match, but I hope that the Snug crew here can help me and help us see what I missed and go over everything that went down on this episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Welcome, fellas. How we doing today?
Doing pretty good. This was actually a much better show than I thought it was going to be. When you look top to bottom at the card, crowd tonight so much better than this past Monday Night Raw's crowd. Tonight the crowd was actually happy to be in the building, it seemed, and they gave almost every match a lot of fanfare, a lot more than I was expecting on a couple of them. But also that's large in part to a lot of the matches that we had tonight, where they weren't just like a lot of straight up matches. There were matches with stakes. There were titles on the line twice tonight. There was a lot of crazy hijinks tonight, and a lot of these matches got time to breathe, and the fans were very receptive of it live in attendance. And I was actually a lot happier walking away from the show than I thought I'd be, because let's be honest, 3 hours is a slog. Sometimes it's hard enough just to get through Raw at 2 hours and 20, 2 hours and 30. That extra half hour, man, you really do feel it, especially when a lot of times they like to do nothing but filler through most of the show. But I'm happy to say tonight was actually pretty enjoyable, mostly considered. I have a couple of gripes as always, but other than that, man, I'm ready for Valentine's Day tomorrow and ready for the new swing of the weekend, man. Ready for it.
Feeling
Tommy,
good, man.
You're getting some compliments on your shirt. Are you wearing a turtleneck, bro?
Yeah, I just decided to wear one.
Fucking
you trying to hide a hickey or something?
That's exactly what I thought, and I didn't say it.
Not even close. I do have a girlfriend now, but they're over in fucking Oklahoma. So long distance shit. But overall, the show itself, great for me, but there were a couple spots where I was a bit shocked with, like with the main event, in which we'll get to. Sami Zayn got booed at one point, in which I was very shocked at that. But other than that, the show was pretty good, and we'll really get into this sucker.
Yeah, I also saw that they had some dark matches here that I got to mention real quick, because Royce Keese wrestled Nathan Frazier, which I thought was interesting because we haven't seen Royce Keese since the Rumble, and we've already had an episode of Monday Night Raw and now an episode of SmackDown. He hasn't showed up. We don't know which brand he's going to, kind of like Obafemi. It's kind of up in the air right now with those two guys. So I thought that was cool. We'll see what happens with Royce Keese. But yeah, like I mentioned before, they were in Dallas, and this is a big wrestling crowd, So yeah, of course they're going to be happy to be in the show, but I wish I could have seen the first part of it because I heard I missed some crazy stuff. Someone went through a table, I believe. There was a match that it was a tag team match, or what happened here, fellas? Help me.
All right, so this was the women's tag titles of Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. So I guess their team is Rio officially, versus Lash Legend and Nia Jax. But this whole show actually opened up with a promo from Tiffany Stratton, which she had an exchange with Lash Legend and Nia Jax. Nia Jax trying to call Tiffy out on, we all know what I'm capable of. Tiffany fires back, losing another title opportunity. And then Lash Legend kind of tries to chip in on the promo with some very interesting dialogue. Point is, they all need to work on their promo skills. Some of this was very cringy. Some of it was hard to get through. And Tiffany Stratton doing the same old Tiffy time shtick. Some of the crowd was into it. It was pretty fucking boring promo exchange just to get cut off and interrupted by Rhea, who came out, thank God, to end this segment. And y'all know I'm not high on Tiffany Stratton at all. But the point is, the match is underway. They have quite a fucking exchange. And I mean, it was extremely, an extremely power games match. You got EO, and then you got three powerhouses: Lash Legend, Rhea Ripley, and Nia Jax. I thought the match was really good. The crowd was into it. It was even getting "This is awesome" chants for an opener, mind you. And it's a title match. But I wasn't too happy with the finish being no contest. I would have liked to see a definitive winner. But I do like that in this case, they did the smart thing where they kept Nia and Lash strong while also putting them over in two different ways, right? So Rhea and EO retain because there's no contest. The ref threw the match out. It lost control between someone being in legal too long and then being out of the ring too long past the 10 count. This was an interesting thing. EO puts Nia Jax through a table by cross-bodying her through the ropes off the apron through a table, which was awesome. That keeps EO strong, keeps Rio strong because they took down the big monster heel Nia. But then you get to keep Lash and Nia strong because Lash took out Rhea by spearing her through the barricade by the ring announcer's corner, which was really cool. So both teams look strong. Both teams look great. They're both protected in the finish because no one looked weaker than the other. There was one spot in the match I got seriously worried for Nia Jax's safety. She gets powerbombed by Rhea off the apron, and then EO hits the over the moonsault, but lands right on Nia. And then when she goes for a pin, Lash full press shoves Rhea into EO to break up the pin, and then they all land hard as fuck on Nia's face and then roll over. And then Nia held her face for quite some time. The ref would check on her. She rolls out of the ring. Then she was moving very slow for the remainder of this match and the aftermatch. I was very worried. I thought she had a concussion or broke her nose. So here's hoping we don't hear any injury reports tomorrow. So I hope, Nia, you're okay. But I think all women did a great job.
Oh, yeah, the women did great. Hopefully we don't get yet another injury report because we already got one on a big name, that being Braun Breaker with his little hernia. So hopefully we don't get another one, especially from yet another big name like Nia Jax. That the women's division, they don't really have many good people as of recently, but I would say that Nia Jax and Liv Morgan are pretty far up there SmackDown levels. I know technically Liv is on Raw, but as of recently, thanks to her winning the Rumble, she has been on both brands and has now competed on both as of last week. So there's that. But Rhea did her thing absolutely smoothly, except for that powerbomb, in which I was also a little bit afraid of with that entire sequence. But it's very clear that the right team won. Not white, right. My brain is just blanking. I am white. But yeah, my brain just went fucking blank on me. But still, the right team absolutely won here because I just don't think they are losing those titles anytime soon until an inevitable, hey, look, reminder, I still have yet to beat you one-on-one. So let's do it.
Yeah, Nia Jax, hope she's okay, man. I mean, no matter what people think about Nia Jax, there's some reports, and I think she did an interview where she's like taking on that leader role, that locker room leader. I guess some of the women in the locker room see Nia Jax in that way, which is fair. You know, she's been in WWE for a long time. And it seems like whenever there's someone new up and coming from NXT, they put her under Nia Jax's wing. So that says something too. So yeah, man. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully Nia Jax is okay because I like that what they're doing with Lash Legend there, and I don't think they do that without. They can do that without Nia Jax.
I
But
mean,
yeah, this is.
I'm sorry. I wanted to really quickly. We didn't just lose Braun Breaker either. The women's division last year felt the absolute absence of Liv Morgan for 7 months. Raw was rough to get through in the women's division. They were spinning their fucking wheels without her. And it just goes to show how valuable a player sometimes just one woman or one man division. Right now, I think the men's division on Raw is going to feel the absence of Braun Breaker, even though you've got the star power of the Romans, the Punks, but still there's that fresh curiosity that comes from, or that fresh ferociousness that comes from a Braun Breaker. And the same thing on the women's division on SmackDown now. We also had Chelsea Green out with a broken ankle now as of last Friday. And their division is going to feel the loss of her, especially in the mid-card division with that Women's United States Championship, but also the entertainment value that she brings. I don't want to lose Nia because despite what people think of Nia, and I want to put Nia over here, Nia has come a long way in the last 10 years. She has become a safe worker. She is reliable in the ring. She has become a certified threat, a mainstay, a household name. She is a former world champion. But also, at this point in time, with all this new fresh blood, she is a veteran in the locker room. And even with that 1.5 or so year stint where she wasn't with the company, 1.5 year aside, she was gone about as long as Randy Orton was injured. And, so as far as I'm concerned, she's been with the company about fucking 10 years. And it's good to have her. And it's good that she's around, especially to help groom that new up and coming women's talent like the Lash Legends. I think it's a good thing. So we do hope she's all right. But I did just want to put her over because I don't think Nia Jax gets nearly enough praise for a lot of the work she has put in to truly become a much better performer.
Well, when it comes to the women's division, I got good news about that because we saw Chelsea Green in a backstage segment rolling around in a wheelchair. So that was cool to see. I was so happy because I'm like, man, we're not going to be able to see Chelsea Green, on TV. That sucks, right? But Chelsea Green is like, I know I'm injured, but hey, I may not be able to wrestle, but I can still talk. So I think
I'm hoping
we're going to be able to see Chelsea Green at least on backstage segments, still doing the entertaining thing that she does. So that's a good sign.
I'm hoping it means that she'll at least be a manager, and then Alba is going to get a chance to wrestle more again without just being the Hervis. Because we've already lost Piper too. People keep forgetting Piper Niven's out on injury too, and she's another one that I think that when she's not there, you forget, but when she's there, you recognize that, oh my God, this girl is fucking incredible. So I'm hoping this at least means they can put some spotlight on Alba in that mid-card division to fill the Chelsea Green void, but Chelsea can at least be her manager to keep that entertainment, that charisma, that momentum going, because people still love to, so long as it's not too difficult for her to have to travel week to week to week to week with a broken ankle.
All right, this is where I came into the show finally after fucking dealing with all the stupid technical issues that I was having. We go to the ring and Carmelo Hayes is cutting a promo, United States champion who was scheduled to have another U.S. Open challenge versus Ilya Dragunov. But first, Carmelo Hayes cut a little promo where he was like, yeah, I'm carrying gold, but you know what? Why not a double champion? And if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, Carmelo Hayes is going to be a part of one of the qualifying matches for the Elimination Chamber next week. And I thought, okay, that's good. That's good news. He's a U.S. champion, but hey, why not go for the other championship too? Fuck it. Unlike down there on NXT, right, Tommy? Fucking stupid ass rules that they got down there on NXT. But Ilya Dragunov comes out, they're getting ready to have the match. The bell's about to ring, and Solo's music hits, and the MFTs interrupt right before this match is about to start. And Solo, he comes out and he's like, no, Ilya, no. You've had plenty of shots at this thing. You're out. Back of the line. You lost like twice already. It's my turn now. It's up to me now. And I was like, oh, okay, well, cool. I believe Solo has had a couple wins the past couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm like, okay, yeah, let Solo get a shot at this. Why not, right? And then the MFTs rush Ilya Dragunov. They rush Carmelo Hayes. And then we get Apollo Crews, Matt Cardona, Shinsuke Nakamura. It was cool to see Apollo Crews on TV again, man. So this whole thing got chaotic. It turned into a 10-man tag team match. We saw Matt Cardona, Shinsuke, all these, guys that I feel like we don't really get to see on TV in a big 10-man tag team match, which was cool. And it broke down, man. I thought for sure, because we saw Solo Sikoa come out and interrupt the match, I thought Solo Sikoa is going to get the pin. He's going to pin Carmelo Hayes. And this is going to set up a match between Solo Sikoa versus Carmelo Hayes for the United States Championship. And nay, I completely forgot about Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga has been kind of creeping around the U.S. title picture backstage. And he got the pin, and I thought, even better. Now Tama Tonga can say, I pinned Carmelo Hayes. I pinned the champion. Let me get my title shot.
Yeah, man, it was nice to see. Apollo Crews, especially in my opinion, and Matt Cardona, keeping him on TV. Yeah, he's in the mid card, but Matt Cardona has always been a strong worker, and I honestly forgot Apollo Crews even worked here. And that's because WWE really, really sometimes just never learns their lesson that even if someone, you don't see them as a massive potential like star to push to the moon, they still have their role to fill where you can give them TV time. They can work. I mean, Apollo Crews is a mixture of a powerhouse and a high flyer. It's very hard to find people with that kind of diversified set of skills in professional wrestling where you can do all the high flying acrobatic shit and be high octane, but then you can lift and press a motherfucker over your head and drop him on his ass. The last time we saw any major momentum from Apollo Crews, but yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen Apollo Crews get this kind of momentum since Big E was still wrestling and they were having a massive feud and they gave Apollo that African, king fucking gimmick. But the match was great, man. It really did break down towards the end where it could have been anyone's game, and it was really changing hands. It got very fast-paced. Crowd was into it. At this point, I'm trying to figure out why the fuck do the MFTs honestly follow so? Why? They all, on their own, between tag matches and singles matches with Tama, have more wins to their name than Solo had all last fucking year on TV. Like, legitimately, I don't know why they follow this guy like he's their leader. Solo is fucking entertaining, but he's fucking washed as a credible threat in the ring as a character. Tama Tonga has had more wins this year than Solo had in the last 4 or 5 months of last year. Okay, if you've noticed, they keep letting Tama get pins over and over and over again. I think that they're trying to push Tama past Solo at this point, and honestly, I'm just saying do it and go for it because this Solo shtick that he's been on, it's made me kind of wane on Solo. I'm ready for him to go away for a little while, come back, repackaged, re-gimmicked, slightly more serious. This shuck and jive Solo is entertaining, but it's long in the tooth. And genuinely, he has lost all credibility with me as to a viable threat and as to why the fuck any of these guys who are all bigger than him, all more powerful than him, all more threatening than him, why they're following this fucking goddamn essential rodeo clown in that of Solo Sikoa. So glad Tama got the win, but at the same time, it's hard for me to care about the NFTs when I feel like all their interest is just about what Solo's doing, and Solo has no credibility for me to give a fuck any.
Well, when it comes to the solo thing, I cannot answer that question. But when it comes to good old Apollo Crews, feels so good to have him back, especially with the fact that Wade Barrett said why he was out for so long. He was out for so long due to a torn fucking pec. The same injury that took Cody Rhodes out for a bit after that Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins. So that is why Apollo Crews has been out. So after knowing that, after hearing that from Wade Barrett, it feels so good to have Apollo Crews back in the ring. Because that was one guy where I'm like, he's really good. He really is. But where the fuck is he? For the longest time, until I saw him tonight and Wade Barrett said that about the pack. I'm like, that makes total sense now. But this match, I absolutely loved it. Tama Tonga, he did in fact pin Carmelo Hayes. It's only a matter of time before that happened. But it's very clear that before that happens, Ilya Dragunov is absolutely going to get that shot. Since, not Pierce, Nick Aldis walked out and said, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to call a rain check on this United States title match. But instead, we're going to have a Texas-sized 10-man tag. Like, that is what led into this. It was originally going to be a United States title match, but it did not end that way. But I do feel like the right men won. But there's one other thing that Blood didn't mention. Right after this match, if you looked all the way at the top, the lights went out, the fireflies came out, and there were the Wyatt Six standing there on top with the crowd. So I wonder where that's going to go next.
I didn't forget that, Tommy. I have resigned myself to no longer giving a flying fuck. I am so done with Wyatt Six a la MFT's chicanery at this point. I'm just bored of it. And I'm going to be honest, and I don't mean to be cruel. I think the Wyatt Six are done. I think their intrigue is gone. I think that WWE fumbled them already a year and a half ago, and that the team is spinning their wheels at this point. And I'm just sick and tired of seeing them involved with one of two groups like they were all last year, into the last year, and beginning of this year, for months and months and months and months and months and months on end, doing the same shit every single week. Just disband them, put them on singles runs at this point. I don't care. Bray would be proud of what Bo's already accomplished with it. I don't think it has any more legs. I'm sorry. Or you need to relegate them to being a team that only gets brought out every now and again for really special. But I'm done with the Whites.
Yeah, same. I've been done with them too. I mean, tonight they showed up after the match, the lights turned off, and yeah, maybe the fans in the arena popped for it, but it was just like they show up way the fuck up in the crowd, hella far away, and it's just like, what are they all going to do from there? They're not going to do anything. And they didn't. They didn't do shit. So it's just like, why should we care? Well, yeah. But the cool thing about this whole entire thing, besides Tama Tonga winning, is that I think this is what the United States title picture is going to look like. Shinsuke Nakamura, Apollo Crews, Matt Cardona, Ilya Dragunov, Tama Tonga. That's the United States title scene. That's the mid-card right there. And I think that looks pretty good. Hopefully we get to see Matt Cardona and Apollo Crews get a crack at it one of these days.
I think it does look really good. And I can tell you, at this point, I'd really like to see Matt Cardona be the one to take it off of Carmelo. Because the one title that if we remember, Matt Cardona tried to chase his first go around in WWE when he was still Zack Ryder. That was that championship that he wanted so badly that he won at WrestleMania. And then they made him drop the very fucking next night. I would like to see him get an actual serious run with that thing. All the work put in. People forget how long Matt Cardona was in WWE. People forget he wasn't just Zack Ryder. He was Zack Ryder, but there were two versions of Zack. There's the version we got when he left. People forget he was an Edge head way back in 2007 and 8 when Edge was a major heel with La Familia, partnered up with fucking Chavo Guerrero and Vicky Guerrero when he was at the height of his feud with The Undertaker. Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder were two of were Edge's like Edge heads, his backup. That was a long time ago before he ever got repackaged into the woo. And he put a lot of effort and work in his first time around. So I'd love to see him finally get that payoff by maybe winning and having an actual reign with that U.
All right, y'all. The next match was a women's qualifier for the Elimination Chamber. Alexa Bliss, Selena Vega, and Julia went at it. And Alexa Bliss won. And I have no thoughts on this because I thought this match was horrible. Not only because it's a triple threat match, it's a random match to me, in my eyes. I didn't care about this match. Alexa Bliss won. Good for her. What'd you guys think?
I think Alexa is the only one that made the most sense. They haven't done enough with Julia, haven't rehabilitated her character assassination they've committed on her enough to warrant her being in the chamber for a women's world championship when she's already still the U.S. champion to no fanfare still. And they decided to dust Zelina's boots off and be like, hey, we forgot. We did have you in a title scene for a while. And then we just like dropped that to make you follow your husband around for like fucking 6 goddamn. And we decided we want you to wrestle again. So wrestle. So, I mean, when it came down to it, I didn't think the match was horrible. I thought it was fine. Alexa, as I say, the most over thing in any Alexa Bliss match is that fucking finish, is her finisher. The freaking Sister Abigail DDT is the most over thing. I mean, loudest pop of the entire match was the moment she wrapped fucking Zelina up in it. But when it came down to it, like, there was some sloppiness in here. I don't know if it was weird because I feel like at different points, each woman was sloppy. There was a point on the turnbuckle where I audibly just like closed my eyes and like exhaled, like when Alexa Bliss was sitting on the top rope and Julia literally aimed a punch at her and just held her fist there, waiting for fucking Alexa to react. Alexa never does. And Julia's just like, okay. Lowers her arm and then climbs up on the turnbuckle. And I'm just like, you couldn't even sell the punch. And the moment you realized she didn't react to it, why did you hold your arm there for so long, waiting for a reaction? There was just a few things. I mean, Zelina getting stuck on Julia for the fucking code red, not being able to rotate properly while she was still on her back. It was just a bunch of shit where I was just like, okay, guys.
It was horrible.
Let's wrap this up. Alexa makes the most sense. She'll be the one the fans are going to pop the most for in the match. The moment she wraps up that Sister Abigail in the chamber, this was fine. Thank God it's over. It was fine.
Yeah, the only thing that I've got is the fact that Alexa Bliss was absolutely the right choice here. Plain and simple, plain as day. Alexa Bliss was that one person out of the 3 that just fit way better than the other 2. It was really the only option. It was a foregone conclusion as soon as this match was announced. But other than that, I don't really have much to say about it because of the fact that, yes, Alexa Bliss won, but I didn't really care. Julia just brought it down because nobody gives a shit about her to begin with.
Yeah, that's the problem with this. It was just, it wouldn't have, it's one thing to have a sloppy match. Everybody has a bad night. Sometimes miscommunication happens. It's going to happen. No one's perfect. And we're not dogging them. My problem is, if you're going to have a sloppy match, does it have to be the match that's already predictable? Nobody here thought Zelina or Julia stood a chance in it. It's Alexa fucking Bliss. Of course she was going to go over. Between these 3, you were really going to have one of them pin the 5 times as champion? Come on.
All right, up next we had Trick Willie, the man of many names. Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett listed like at least 5 different nicknames for Trick Williams. I thought it was hilarious. He faced Rey Fenix, but before that, I got to mention the backstage segment with Sami Zayn and Rey Fenix. Sami Zayn gave Rey Fenix a little words of encouragement before the match, wearing a black hoodie. A black zip-up hoodie, and I thought, what an interesting choice of gear to wear in a random backstage segment, because he didn't wear this later on before his show. I mean, before his match in the main event. So I thought that was kind of weird. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like maybe Sammy could be under that hood of the new hooded figure that's been showing up on Monday Night Raw. I don't know. I'm just guessing here, but yeah, man, this match between Trick Williams and Ray Phoenix was a great match, man. I absolutely love this because Trick Williams was underestimating Ray Phoenix, the high flyer, the unpredictable Ray Phoenix that can just jump at you out of nowhere, right? Trick Williams was kind of playing with this food, because he is a lot bigger. He was trash talking. He was, not really taking Ray Phoenix seriously, and Ray Phoenix was taking advantage and, fighting back, and the people were getting behind Ray Phoenix. It was a dope match, man. I loved everything about this match, and I believe Trick Williams got the win here, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I thought this was dope.
Yeah, to comment on the Sami Zayn thing really quick, Sammy wears black hoodies backstage all the time, so I don't think he's the mask guy. He wears a black hoodie pretty often. When it comes down to it, I thought the match was great. I also think it was bad. And I don't mean in-ring work. I think when it comes to storytelling, when it comes to putting your money where your mouth is a big thing in this business, right? I think this match hurt Trick Williams more than it helped him because they had a great match, but Ray took most of the fucking offense. Ray was cutting him off left and right, beating his ass. Trick looked out of his fucking wheelhouse like he couldn't keep up. In story match, that is. Obviously, Trick can keep up, but I mean, it looked like Ray was giving him a really hard time. And my problem is, how are you going to sit there and mouth off to fucking Randy Orton and mouth off to Sami Zayn and mouth off to Damian Priest like you're better than all of them, but then you get half your ass handed to you for 80% of this match by Ray Phoenix? And I'm supposed to believe that you have a shot in hell at taking down Randy Orton straight up. That's my problem. You talk a big game, Trick, but you also talk in circles. You can't talk all that shit like you're going to run through people, and then you run into a high flyer that you've got about 60 fucking pounds on, and he kicks your ass for 80% of a match. And then you only won because the trick shot landed on a rebound at the right time. But he was owning you. And I'm supposed to believe that you're the guy that could dethrone Drew McIntyre? Come on. No. Great match, though.
Yeah, definitely a great match for sure. I'm going to quickly say something when it comes to the backstage segment, and that is the fact that for like 5 seconds of that, like you really could not have started Trick Williams' music after these two started talking. Like, seriously? The very ending of that conversation, I could not hear a single word that either of them were saying because Trick Williams' music was playing in the damn background. That was really my biggest issue, was the fact that I couldn't fucking hear them for about 5 seconds straight. Even though there was that little quiet part at the end where they could have started fucking playing it. But still, the match itself, great. Right man won. He definitely had some issues, as Blood said, with him. But, hey, Trick Williams gets a push slightly because it's more pulled back than he would want it to be. But, hey, he still gets that slight push, which means he's definitely going to be all talk all over.
Yeah, but then again, it's also Ray Phoenix too. They're kind of been trying to protect Ray Phoenix as well, to eventually use him down the line. Like you can't completely squash him either. I think both guys looked really good here for what it's worth. And also the promo before the match that Trick Williams did on Sami Zayn was fucking hilarious. What did he say, Tommy? He's like, "You over here wearing Skechers and your breath smells like ass." And what did he say? Do you remember?
I can't remember word for word, but I know for a fact that it was yet another partial promo about his lemon pepper stepper.
Yeah. I'm loving everything that they're doing with Trick Willie. Good old Trick Willie. So yeah, I was excited about this whole match and segment and promo and shebang. But up next, we had the women's championship was on the line. Jade Cargill defended versus Jordynne Grace. And again, kind of like the opening match, as soon as the match was about to start, here comes Liv Morgan with Dirty Dom and Raquel Rodriguez because they have to get a closer look of her potential maybe opponent for WrestleMania. Whoever wins out of this match, Liv Morgan might choose them. So she had to get a front row out there, and because it's damn near Valentine's Day, Dominic Mysterio pulled some strings, had a nice little romantic setup dinner table out there ringside with flowers and a bottle of champagne with his face on it, and it was a nice little Valentine's Day touch, I guess. But the match between Jordynne Grace and Jade Cargill, I actually really enjoyed it as well because it brings out a different side of Jade Cargill that we haven't seen. I don't think we've ever seen Jade Cargill wrestle someone like Jordynne Grace, which is another powerhouse kind of similar to Jade Cargill. Obviously a lot shorter, but two powerhouses here. At least that's how I saw it. Jade Cargill's strong, but she's also quick because she's smaller. And I enjoyed the pacing of this match. I felt like this was something new from Jade Cargill that we haven't seen before, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like the Judgment Day out there trolling. I also noticed that to be out there and troll is one thing. To be out there and not even watched another. When the whole like final sequence happened and the finish happened, literally, if you look at the angle from the pin, Dom, Raquel, and Liv weren't even paying attention to the match. When Jordynne gets pinned, Liv is literally staring at Dom, having a conversation, talking, and eating chocolate, even after the bell rings. I was like, you don't even give a fuck who's the champion. You just want to sit there and get in their heads. And that's why I love Liv. But when it came down to it, yeah, this match was different because it was someone who could actually match or even exceed Jade Cargill's strength, because I honestly think Jordynne Grace is stronger than Jade. But when it came down to it, they had a really good back and forth. Jordynne proved that she would be no walk in the park to Jade Cargill because Jordynne Grace is a former TNA Knockout Women's World Champion. So it's not like she's to be, someone to be fucking trifled with. But she gave Jade quite the hard time. This wasn't some easy match for Jade to win. When the finish came from the beast mode reversal into the jaded 1, 2, 3, great finish. Jordynne still had a great showing here. But Jade, being the heel, beat Jordynne clean. That's another thing. She beat her clean. No dirty tactics to end the match or anything. But, the thing is, you said, Edgar, that, we've never had this type of matchup for Jade Cargill before. And the thing is, you're right, we haven't. And we would have if Bianca Belair was still around. That match probably would have happened by now, because you got to think Bianca can match Jade and Jordynne in power, but she can definitely match them in speed and agility. So you got to think Jade probably would have gotten one of her best matches against Bianca. But I think I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial here. I think Jordynne Grace just got the best match out of Jade Cargill in singles I've ever seen Jade wrestle.
Yeah, holy shit. You are not wrong at all. Like, Jade Cargill definitely put out the best singles match I have seen out of her. Like, throughout this entire thing. My biggest issue? 100 days and no fucking title defense.
107.
Not one until now.
Like 107. It was 100 last week.
Yeah, 107 days. And this was her first title defense. Should not be happening whatsoever. If this was under Vince's watch, she would be stripped of that title probably 2 months ago.
No. Do you remember how long he let Dean Ambrose hold the U.S. championship without defending it? Like 5 months.
That's right. I forgot about that shit. But still, that was my biggest issue here, is the fact that it did take so damn long for her first title defense. I feel like when Bianca comes back, she might be the one to take it off of her. I would not mind that. Like a freshly recovered hand of Bianca Belair taking that title off of Jade Cargill in their match against each other, I would not mind that. This experiment is over. Take the damn title off of her.
That depends on if Bianca isn't pregnant, by the way. Remember the rumors that she might be pregnant. So
I think Montez Ford is pregnant.
No, Montez Ford is people who don't work out don't understand. Montez Ford is literally bulking. I think he's getting ready for something bigger, like a singles push or something, but his body stages, everything about that, he's bulking. He might be dirty bulking, but he's bulking. He's putting on muscle.
Let me ask you something, Tommy. So you know how we see CM Punk, he's been defending the World Heavyweight Championship a lot. We see CM Punk at least every week on Monday Night Raw, right? But that's CM Punk, you know. Would you prefer to see Jade Cargill defend her championship every 100 days, or would you prefer to see Jade Cargill every single week, like as much as we do CM Punk on TV?
Oh, I'm not saying like every week, but I would much rather her still defend it here and there compared to going 170 days before her first title defense and doing absolutely nothing with it.
I'd rather see her not hold the title at all.
Because here's the thing that I feel like WWE is, for the most part, really good at, or they, at least with certain people, is hiding their weaknesses and highlighting their strengths. And I think that's a perfect example of what they're doing with Jade Cargill. And I think it's smart. I mean, I don't really have a problem with her defending it every, special occasion. Today,
I do, because it waters that championship and that entire division down. If your weaknesses are so bad that they have to put 100 days in between your initial win and your first defense, not only because the division is so weak that they have no choice but to hold off until a credible challenger comes up because they put all their main eventers in tag teams, that's one strike. Then you've got to cover the fact that they need to put her in a match with someone who can make her look good and hide her weaknesses in ring. That's strike two. Strike three is her presentation is great, but there's no substance to it. So my problem is, you can talk the talk all you want. We don't see you walk the walk. You've got to be protected in the ring. And then you also have to be protected in story, because there's no one in the fucking division. You can say, no one here can take it off me. You're right. Because there's no one in your fucking division to actually wrestle you. Because they're all in the tag division. So for me,
except for the 6 women that are going to be in the Elimination Chamber.
Yes. And how many of those women are in tag teams so far?
I don't even know who's in it yet. I couldn't tell you.
Tommy?
We don't know. How many spots are filled? We still have 4 more spots to fill for the women's chamber?
Is it 2 or 3 in there so far, Tommy?
I believe it's 3.
Okay. Alexa Bliss, tag team. Who else?
My mind is blanking on the other 2 names.
That's helpful. But I guarantee you, when it comes down to it, the majority of these other triple threats will be made up of women in the tag team. So it just comes down to your division was deep. I get we wanted to fix and bolster the women's tag division to give more credibility to those titles. But by doing that, you did 2 things. You sacrificed your women's WWE championships credibility on SmackDown, because no credible challengers are filling out that division. And 2, you fucking did it at the expense of the women's US title picture, because again, all the challengers are in tag teams or injured. A la Meaton, a la Chelsea Green. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you hurt 2 divisions at once trying to strengthen another one.
Now I remember who it was. It's Alexa Bliss, tag team. Rhea Ripley, tag team. And then Stratton,
who just got back after fucking 3 months out. So
I mean, those 2 women are in tag teams, but I mean, they can stand alone also.
They can, but the problem is they focused them so hard in a whole other division that 2 singles divisions for their gender on the same show have no one credible to fill out the challenge as challenger. That's why they threw the title back on Julia.
It'd be crazy if one of those empty 3 vacant spots, if we get Bianca Belair to come back for one of those spots by some fucking miracle.
Oh, I'd love it. Let her win.
I would love to see that.
Let her win, and then let Alexa go for Stephanie Vaquer. Let her. I mean, I think we're all past the point of oh yeah. Well, I mean, let Liv go for Stephanie. But I'm saying, I think we're past the point of people caring about seeing a Bianca versus Jade match. But I think you give it a good enough story, people will want to see it. But let's be honest, guys. The proper time for that fucking match was last Mania. And then they moved Bianca onto the Raw fucking feud for no reason at all. And completely just had her pushed away from Jade. So even if Bianca comes back, are people going to care if she takes on... If she takes on
huge for Bianca.
No. Are they going to care if she takes on Jade? Is it going to be as big as it would have been a year ago when she was involved storyline with her?
I think it'll be bigger because people have missed Bianca.
That's fair too. It'll remain to be seen. Maybe one of these triple threats will be a mystery opponent, and then that could be Bianca if she isn't pregnant and if she's healed or whatever. But man, I mean, the women's division on SmackDown could really use her star power. Really good.
Always. All right, child, the main event. And you know how I feel about these matches, right? Oh, it's just triple threat, random matches with a bunch of people just thrown in together. Brr, 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 brr. The WWE said, you know what, Edgar, screw you. We're going to give you Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu and Sami Zayn. And I thought, okay, now we have a match that I can get behind because Cody and Jacob have been at each other's necks and Sami Zayn just happens to be there, right? But this is unpredictable. This was fun. There's heat here. There's story. There's feuds. There's personal issues. There's everything that anyone could possibly want in a triple threat match. Even the, the people that love this type of shit, there was a little bit of everything for everyone here. No DQ. We had an interference by Drew McIntyre. We had unpredictability because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was like, man, Cody and Jacob are going to tear each other apart, and that's going to leave the opening for Sami Zayn to take advantage and win it. And it's also Jacob Fatu. He's a badass. He could win it. But it's also Cody. He's Cody. He can win it. So I was like, man, this was such a dope-ass main event for me personally. Because I felt like it could go either way, man. And then it looked like Jacob Fatu was going to get the win. And then Drew McIntyre hits the ring. And he interferes in the match. He costs Jacob the victory. He goes after Cody. He tries to help Sami win it, but Cody Rhodes kicks out at the very last second. And then Sami finds out that, Drew McIntyre's over here doing his shenanigans. Haluva kick on Drew McIntyre. Cody Rhodes takes advantage. 1, 2, 3. Cody's going to the Elimination Chamber. But man, I popped huge for this main event, dude. This was fucking dope.
Yeah, the main event itself is great. I mean, when you really think about it, all these men do have stuff in common with each other. They've all had feud against each other. They've all had problems with each other. Cody and Sami have been on the opposite side of Jacob during War Games. Obviously Sami and Cody have faced off before as friends and as foes when Sami was in the bloodline. That was something to contend with. So there's history here. The only stupid thing about this, aside from how great this match was, and Cody wins LOL, I figured he was going to, because they need to keep ticket sales up as high as they can for Mania, and having Cody involved in a major profile Mania match is one way to do that. But Drew McIntyre, to me, is an idiot. In character, not the actual Drew himself. Love Drew for real, love his character work, but in story, his character. How he won the title, I thought was stupid because Jacob's motivations were dumb. I'm the babyface, going to jump the babyface for touching me, even though the guy that I believe took me out months ago is Drew, the heel who I just basically let win by attacking the fucking other babyface who was in here having the match. Then you have Drew, who almost cost himself his own title match months ago when he tried to get Cody to touch him so the title would be vacated, which means he never would have won it anyway had he got Cody to vacate it because the title wasn't going to automatically be forfeited to Drew. Stupid again. Then, going on for the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'm done with Cody. I'm done with Jacob Fatu. I'm moving on to better things. And then, what's he do every chance he gets? He hits him from behind. He eliminates Cody from the Rumble with a Claymore. He jumps fucking Jacob again. He gets involved tonight. And I'm just like, dude, how are you going to say you're done with them and that you're ready to move on and that these two don't deserve a title and that you want nothing to do with them? And then you keep attacking them so they can keep having shit to do with you. I'm like, you're fucking stupid. Like, it's just, I thought that was dumb because you can't cry wolf later, Drew, in story, because to me, I'm just like, you cannot be mad that you have a 2-on-1 op scenario when you keep attacking them left and right every time you say you're done dealing with them and then you keep getting back involved with them. It's going to be your fault when you lose that championship because one of them is going to...
Yeah, the whole Drew thing, I get where he's trying to go, at least with this triple threat specifically, because he really wanted Sammy to go in, since he was one of the only ones that said that even the slightest part of it wanted Drew McIntyre to win that title just to go up against him. But this chamber for the men's is already looking better than the women's, because the women's is 2 out of 3 tag people right now. Meanwhile, with the men, you have going on Damian Priest, Randy Orton, and now the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. That is one hell of an elimination chamber, and that's only 3 out of 6. So it's going to be very interesting to see who in the world is next to go into the chamber with those 3 powerhouses. But of course, Cody and Sammy teamed up on Jacob Fatu early on, even on the top of one of the turnbuckles. They were going back and forth with it. But as much as I wanted Sammy to win, because he absolutely deserves a world title run, or at least getting another shot at it, it's very clear that where they're waiting for this at is WrestleMania for next year. And that's it.
Very good. Very, very good main events for this episode of Friday Night SmackDown. That's going to do it for us tonight. That was the SmackDown review with the Snug Wrestling crew. We will be back again on Monday for Monday Night Raw, which we're going to have more qualifying matches, I'm sure of it. And we're going to find out who else is going to be a part of this Elimination Chamber because it's coming up. We got a couple weeks left for the Chamber, which means we got predictions coming up and a whole bunch of good shit coming up. But let's get the fuck up out of here, y'all.
Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the February 13th, 2026 edition of SmackDown Review right before Valentine's Day. Thank you guys for kicking it with us as always. If you love hanging out with us, you can do it live on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook every single week for live post-show reviews every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. And kick it with us every Thursday on TikTok Live, where myself, Mr. Blood, and the head of Snug Wrestling over there, Edgar, do our weekly random or relevant wrestling topics for 1 hour on TikTok Live. And we also answer your fan questions in the actual live chat, guys. Then, of course, you can support the podcast by heading on over to tpublic.com/Snug Wrestling, where you can pick up your Snug Wrestling merch to go ahead and represent your favorite wrestling podcast. And as always, guys, until next time, stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug. And Tommy, my boy, that was one time. I said for the one time. I said that was
4 letters. 1 word.